Alright, welcome back, guys. It is update day 7.1 patch notes. If the last update was, well, a disappointment, I've seen patch notes. Um, this is definitely not a disappointment. Last update, kind of a yikes. Kind of a yikes. Kind of a yikes. I'm not gonna lie. Kind of a yikes. But, as you can see in the background, there is the Tier 7 Premium American Battleship, the California. We'll get into that later. Very good rendering on image. And what appears to be possibly a new map. Oh, it could also just be like a random set of stuff they put in the back. Speaking of the new map, we have the new map Sleeping Giant. I might have an image showing up from PC. Sleeping Giant is a very intriguing map actually from what I've seen. I'm very interested to see how it plays out. Hopefully it scales well at the higher tiers. It is a tier 6 through 10 battle though, which kind of makes me concerned it could be a small map. But I hope it's at least a large map, like kind of like at least Okinawa size, because you know I like these more bigger, like the higher the tier, the bigger the map I hope it is, because you know it kind of prevents sniping, because you know you're not really, you know, you're able to get into a better position. So new map, very excited to see this. Advanced collection book, cool. It's actually a very easy collection book to get because there's only one premium you need to get, and that's Z44. So it's actually very easy to get. You can Z52 is grindable, Elbing's grindable. These are all texture ships. So actually pretty nice that the requirement is actually not that much, honestly. And I think this is the first one where you don't need a commander or some kind of like, you know, title of any kind. So I think it's pretty cool. The 2023 Chronicle. Cool. Yeah, that's kind of it. It's cool. Requires a lot of different ships from 2023. Cherbourg, Pobeda, Shimanto, Hawk, Ignacio Allende, Nebraska, Ronnie. There's a you know, premium, you know, Ronnie. Pobeda's well, actually Ronnie's only premium here, but so if you did miss out on Ronnie, you can't finish it, but and you need John Fisher, but I think John Fisher's free anyway, so. New daily login rewards. Cool. Yubari and Yamaguchi in April and May. Yubari is actually not that bad of a chip to get. It's definitely an improvement from Aurora. We got last month. Yamaguchi is kind of not a bad commander. We just kind of got him already, so could have been better. Portraits, the only really significant ones here. Obviously Halsey. Always nice to have Halsey. New collab, Euro 2024. We'll get to that later. And then, of course, it's been just the Bliss Pass stuff. And then Weebs. New frames. Cool. I mean, icons seem cool. I wonder what they're going to do with these. I guess these are supposed to be portraits. I guess they call them icons now. Or these are I don't know, honestly. I really don't know. Titles. Cool. New tech line. We are getting Spanish cruisers, not Pan American cruisers. Spanish, very, very distinct difference. Spanish, as in ships from the country Spain. Pan Americans, as in countries from Central and South America. Very big difference. Do not mix them up. When you refer to Spanish cruisers, you're referring to these cruisers now. They are adding in burst fire mode. I want to see how it plays out, because it does increase the fire rate for a certain amount of time. If this is like PC, this will be a very either based off PC. This could either be like the most hilarious gimmick in the game, or this is about to be the most broken gimmick of all time in the game. We will see, but yeah, you have Jupiter, Nevada, Galicia. Asturias. Oh, I can't speak. Speaking too fast. Asturias. No, I can't speak Spanish right now. Andalusia. Notice how the even tiers are not included. Yes. This goes into the second part. They are splitting tech tree releases. Now, whether you like this or not, it's clearly happening, at least for the Spanish cruisers. what this means, they're either gonna, based off how I see this, it will be probably better to get the tier 10 in the early access more than ever because you won't have to wait even longer to get a new ship. Usually when a new ship is releasing in early access, the update immediately after, they'll usually be releasing. Or in a month or two they'll be releasing. Not so much the case here because these ships come out in early access in April based off the roadmap, but they might not come out the full line, the tier 10, until later in the summer. So, kind of a good and a bad thing because it means that if you know, for their sake, this probably helps them. But if you really want to finish grinds, you're kind of gonna be stuck at the tier 9 for a while if you get it from early access. So, is it interesting? Sure, but I think there's a few caveats to it. So yeah, we won't really be getting these, which means that the early access will only be tier 1 through 9. Again, very very weird because it means that there's gonna be separate early access events. Very strange. Kind of unfortunate that the really only interesting ships in this line are not coming this update, but the gimmicks are, so it also might give them time to refine the gimmick before the tier 10 releases, which I think is also useful in this specific scenario. So whether you like it or not, this is at least gonna happen for the Spanish cruisers, so it is what it is. New premium ships, Ellie. If I remember correctly, this is a Duca d'Aosta if it was in the European tech tree line. It is Greek, so we have another Greek ship besides the Katsonis, so maybe actually interesting. As I said earlier, the California, the tier 7. I'm assuming this is the Bliss Pass for April. It would not shock me in the slightest. And my two predictions for the April Bliss Pass when I saw American themed was either Boise or it was California. How neither of these ships have been in the game for this long is quite impressive, but California's here now. Yay, another Dreadnought battleship premium. We had West Virginia 41 in Bliss Pass and we had Oklahoma before. So Tsurugi, Japanese tier 9 premium battleship. It's another Japanese tier 9 premium battleship, so let's go. We'll see how it performs, but honestly, I'm not really too excited for this. What I am excited for is the Jaeger. Jaeger is will actually have the correct flag on it for the first time compared to the new EU destroyers. Shocking, I know. An actual Austro-Hungarian ship in the game. Can you believe it? Tier 9 destroyer. But because it's Austro-Hungarian, that also means it's a World War I era destroyer. The gimmick? If you've seen PC, the gimmick is that this ship has a hilarious amount of torpedoes that reload very quickly, and they have a very good speed. They do horrendous damage, but they have a very good flood chance. And the ship has basically no guns. It has guns, but they may as well not be there. So, basically Shima, but it can't guarantee kill you with a YOLO. So Shima with extra steps. I'm intrigued to see it. I'm very concerned for the destroyer meta. I usually am not concerned about new destroyers coming in the game. This does concern me, not because the ship is going to be necessarily OP, but because the ship will probably be annoying to be dealing with because every Shima main's going to be playing this thing when they see the amount of torps it has. That's my only concern with the ship. Highlights of the... Well, actually, second highlighted ship of the update. Salem. Salem is finally coming after so many... This game has existed for 6 years, and it took them this long to release Salem. Finally. The second Des Moines class cruiser is coming to the game. I'm very excited for this. I think this is going to be a very interesting addition to the game at tier 10. I'm pretty sure it'll be good because it's just the Des Moines class. So even if it was copy-pasted, it would naturally be a good ship. So I for sure think that this ship will be the highlight premium. But there's another one we'll get to later. Or not later, just right now. Black Shimanto is not Black Shimanto. Black Shimanto is just, okay, well, I mean, I hope it's good, but it's still a Shimanto, so it's not really going to be anything stellar, I assume. The second key critical premium of this update is Black Cristoforo Colombo. Yes, it is meant to be a tier 10. That is a typo. This is going to be very, very interesting at the tier. Because a lot of people know OG Colombo, very OG Colombo, all before all the nerfs, was, to put it lightly, probably the best single ship in the game besides OG Malta. The sap was insane. The dispersion was insane. It basically had no weaknesses outside of having a decent HP pool and like remotely decent armor. Like that's just kind of like the only weaknesses it really had. Vincent didn't exist. Incom didn't exist. There was really no counters to it besides CV, but that's everything. So Black Colombo, this could either be a really, really strong tier 10 or it could be a really, really weak tier 10. I think it goes either way. You could give Rapid Reload 2 and just make it a hilariously strong volume of fire ship, or you can make it secondary based, which, I mean, it's always a possibility you make it secondary based. I wouldn't complain. I think it'd be a pretty funny concept to make a Black Colombo with like secondary overload 3, a couple fuel smoke charges. Like, I think it'd be pretty interesting. But yeah, just this could be the highlight if they do it well. Camos for these new ships. Spanish cruisers here. Thank goodness they actually put the Spanish flag. Would have been disappointing if they didn't. Yeah. Andalusia. If you notice something funny about Andalusia, if you look at those turrets, they look suspiciously British, and that is because they are Drake guns. Yeah. Don't worry. The tier 10, based off EC, it has Napoli guns, so at least those things, that thing will probably have decent guns. I'm very concerned for what the Andalusia could or could not have. So, yeah. Ellie. It's Greek. Again, they almost had it with the Jaeger. They came so close to greatness with having an actual Austro-Hungarian ship, and they messed it up with Ellie. It also is now having the Gdansk problem where you do not have the correct flag. Please, how and why has this not been fixed yet? This is pretty unfortunate for all the Greek players because it's another Greek ship, and then they messed it up. But yeah, it's just unfortunate. California, this is a thick battleship. I'm gonna say that right now. This is a thick battleship. I hope it's good, but it's also a dreadnought, so I don't know if it will be good. So yeah, Surugis. This is a crazy camo for Surugi. I did not think the Amagi class could go this insane. Crazy camo. Jaeger, yes, that flag, finally, for the first time in a long time, that is the correct flag on the Jaeger. Yeah, you can see it has 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 4, it's 4 sets of torps. 12 by 12 torps. But you only have 3 guns, which means that you have basically 0 gun output. Very nice. Salem Witch camo. Why this ship didn't release in October is beyond me. But we're not complaining either because it's still Salem. Camo looks nice. Don't deny it. Looks kind of goofy, the turrets. I don't know. The turrets look kind of off. I don't know. They don't look like the same. They're not the same color palette as the rest of the camo, so they look kind of off, but Salem Witch. As you can see, it is certainly the 1 class cruiser. So, yeah. Anhalt-Helena. This actually, if you ignore the person on the camo, the Anhalt-Helena camo actually doesn't look too bad. I think it's a very clean looking camo, actually. I would rate it pretty high. It's kind of like the Strasbourg's special camo with the church, but it doesn't look nearly as, like, in your face. I think it's actually pretty good looking camo. As much as I will diss on Yodo line, Black Shamato has possibly one of the best looking cruiser camos in the game. That is a clean looking camo. Black GK. Why has this not been re-released? This camo looks insane. These are really good black camos. Really, really good. If anything, I would probably get Black Shamato solely for the camo, not for the ship. Very good looking camos. Jeez, we're recording for 15 minutes. I'm only like halfway through. Black, not boat. I'm reading the wrong thing. Epic Commanders. Elena, Survivalist Plus, Generalist Plus. It's probably gonna be German Commander. It's a good commander. It's basically the combination of actually it's not a combination of anything. It's just sheer for free, basically. Well, not for free, but it's sheer, but in a smaller form factor. Captain Colt Cassidy, I'm assuming this is coming with the California, a defense expert, and Giant Hunter Plus. Now that I say that, I'm wondering why on earth there is Giant Hunter Plus. But it is what it is. Yeah, I don't know why it has Giant Hunter Plus. I'm gonna be completely honest with myself. I think this is for the California, but Giant Hunter Plus buffs torque damage. So, anyways, Chio. Either way, Exploit Weakness Plus, Mystery Plus, Harugumo Commander. Not sure what new Japanese ship could be coming out with Mystery Plus. Really not sure. We'll see. I'm very interested. Legendary Commanders. It's actually two of them this time. We have Marco Materazzi, Italian. Preheating Plus, Close Quarter Combat Expert Plus, Torpedo Alert Plus, Exploit Weakness Plus, Mistweaver Plus, Honor Seeker Plus. Kind of all over the place. Almost like an Iachino situation. It is notably, I think this should be very clear. This is the first Italian Legendary Commander, or, well, not Special Commander, but Italian Legendary Commander. Maybe even Special Commander, yeah. That doesn't actually have SAT Plus. Why? How did they miss the opportunity of this? If this had APCS Plus, this is such a huge missed opportunity, in my opinion. This could have had APCS Plus so easily. But he's probably best for two ships in particular. I think it's very obvious Napoli. Close Quarters Combat Expert Plus, Torpedo Alert Plus, Mystery Plus. All useful skills for Napoli. You can also make him a Destroyer Commander. Preheating Plus, Torpedo Alert Plus, Mystery Plus. Not Honor Seeker, because unless you're playing Palomilio, you need Rapid Reload for Rigolo. So, you could go either way. Probably for Napoli, though. Alvaro Cortez. Daredevil Plus, Fully Prepared Plus, APCS Plus, Victorious Charge Plus, AR Plus, Horizontal Protection Expert Plus. If this is not if, it is going to be for the Spanish cruisers. Based off the name alone. This is going to be a very, very, very strong commander. Just based off the skill sets. Daredevil Plus, I doubt it'll be useful for them. But the rest of the skills probably will be. Fully Prepared Plus is a very useful skill. APCS Plus is a humongously strong skill on the line. Victorious Choice Plus is nice. AR Plus, another extremely strong skill. And of course, Horizontal Protection Expert Plus is just kind of a nice skill to have. So, this Alvaro Cortez, I think, is a very, very good commander. I want to see what the Spanish cruisers have before we really say whether this is a good commander or not. But for sure, this is very good. News Blitz Squad. Don't work about the Blitz. Get the Blitz Squad out of here. We already saw the anime portrait. Moving on. It's a lot of text. Blitz Pass update, visual enhancements, and multi-selection rewards. To summarize, a lot of text here. It's a lot of text. Basically, when it comes to the multi-selection reward, based off my understanding and what people have said, you will be able to pick one reward or the other when you get put on the Blitz Pass page for picking the reward for a certain level. So let's say you go to level 40, and there's an option to go for either a camo, or I don't know, so in this scenario, silver. I don't know if that'd be true. Let's just put it that way for this perspective. Then you could choose which one you want. You see where I'm getting at this? Interesting, intriguing, but I have to see myself to really understand it fully. And then there's some minor updates to the Blitz Pass. Other than that, just kind of there's nice quality of life stuff they're changing here. Battle IDs being portrayed is actually very nice. Because there are times when there's an AFK player and you kind of want to report them, so this is very nice. Also, if you want to add anyone and you forget to add them there, it's also very nice. Or if you want to let other people add them. Huge. I think this is a very huge change. Well, kind of, yes and no. A variety of bot nations and tiers have been added to enhance gameplay across various modes. Basically, all the other nations have been added to bots. What does this mean? Well, they're still going to be ungraded like bots. This just means we're going to have a whole lot of bots to deal with. Is it great that we're having variety? Yes. That also means a lot of problems, though, for some, sometimes. Take the case of the Italians. Bots have a history of, they have a history of not really being too cool to face. Dodging, weaving, the unpredictability, even more so than players. And then you have to add new stuff into that. Columbo. Take Columbo, for example. Bot Columbo will stock have horrendous reload, horrendous gun range, horrendous HP. Sure, that's cool. Bot Columbo will be drifting across the map, one-tapping your destroyer players with no hesitation. That's not so cool. As if bots were not unpredictable enough, they have a battleship that can now one-tap people basically off the face of the planet. Will it be OP? It would probably not, but it will be annoying as hell on a destroyer player. Not too worried about Pan American cruisers because, well, I mean, they have AP only. German ships, Schlieffen could be pretty funny. Schlieffen would be pretty funny with the secondaries. High DPM ships like Minotaur and stuff, Worcester. They haven't clarified here. They're not clarifying if they're adding other ships from the current tech line of the Japanese and Americans. If they are, I would love to see Bot Worcester, because Bot Worcester would be kind of funny. So interesting change. Spanish tech line, obviously adding it later. Bug fixes, more quality of life. They correct. I really do not appreciate the fixing stuff for the Grom and not the rest of the line. I'm just very okay. I'm not going to go into it. Ship changes and balancing. This is a very, very interesting part of the update. Probably the most interesting part of the update. Fixing the hitbox directly. Shikishima, Petropavlovsk, and Goliath. Goliath has a pretty big hitbox, so that's kind of fine. Same with Shikishima. They didn't really deserve big hitboxes. What on earth is Petra doing getting a buff? This thing. The unkillable cruiser is turning even more unkillable. It's not broken yet, but we're slowly getting there. Every single patch now, it feels like with Petra. A ship with already hard to hit silhouette is going to become even harder. Yeah, it's just going to be, have fun pacing Petra players is all I'm going to say. Howden Liu. Legendary equipment sparks some controversy over the state of Dutch cruisers, but like, can we take a moment? Like, whether you agree with this is how they should have fixed it or not, can we just take a moment to appreciate the fact that Wargaming, after a year and a half of this ship's line existing, basically, they finally have buffed the tier 10. Let's just take a moment to applaud Wargaming. They have finally buffed the tier 10 after so many times of us asking to buff. Let's just take a moment to applaud them. It took them long enough. I didn't want it to be a leg mod, but we're just going to take the leg mod. We'll take what we can get at this point. Increased extract capacity by 1. Reduced the reload hugely by 20%. And reduced the bomb damage by 5%. The reduced bomb damage is kind of just, it's whatever. You won't even notice a difference, honestly, because most of your bombs will be full pending. Reduced by 20% the reload. This is a huge buff. This is a huge. Even if I didn't get the increased one, this is a huge buff alone. This basically makes you be able to use more than 6 airstrikes per game realistically. You might be able to use a little more than that. Or not even just being able to use more. You just have it back often. So, it's in the first slot. Will it be used? Should it be used? Yes. I think it should be. If you're planning to play Golden Lion, highly, highly, highly recommend running leg mod. This basically turns a ship from very, very close to horrible to pretty decent actually now. To actually having pretty good damage output for with the terror strikes at least. So, CV leg mod, I'm already falling asleep looking at this. It's in the second slot. Manfred von Richthofen. Increased by 5% in torp bomber speed, fighter speed, and die bomber speed. Cool. Don't think Manfred needed this. Manfred's already annoying as it is. But I guess the fighter speed increase is cool since at least it makes a good Manfred player be able to shoot other planes down a little easier. Elbing leg mod. It's in the first slot as well, which is very useful because if it wasn't, it'd be kind of yikes. But the reload buff is pretty substantial. This gives you a very good buff to the DPM. Whether it's good, okay, well, it's probably more preferential. Although I'd almost argue this is the better mod than reload mod normally. You do lose gun range. You do lose a substantial amount of gun range. You basically lose a kilometer of gun range. But in return, if you have Muller, you have probably some of the greatest destroyer DPM with relative to your Alpha Strike in the game. So a ship that hits for like, I don't even know, it's like, what is it, like 5 to 6k salvos on cruisers that has like a 5-second reload stock now with this? Yeah, it's gonna be pretty nasty. Now, granted, you won't have the range to deal with the cruisers, but it's kind of it's the trade-off. I'm glad there's at least a trade-off, and it's not just a straight-up to a buff to Elbing. So, Elbing and Golden Lion is probably the most interesting. Manfred's is just straight-up buffs, so I mean. Almirante Grau. They fixed the combat instructions, thank goodness. This has actually been like the biggest problem with this ship. Another problem we have to fix is the base reload. Let's fix that wargaming. Yes and please. FR25. I don't know why this line buff it, but it did. They buffed the reload. Anyways, moving on. No one cares about that ship. Anti-aircraft changes. So moving on, we have to put it lightly, basically every American ship known to mankind at the higher tiers. That's a lot of wall of text, yeah, I know. To summarize, a lot of the cruisers and a lot of battleships got buffs to the AA. At pretty much from tier, I don't know, roundabout tier 6 to 10. Some of these are smaller than others, some of these are larger than others. Biggest buffs are probably some of the battleship ones, you know. Montana gets very good substantial AA buff. Now the problem with a lot of these buffs, these are arguably the most substantial AA buff changes we've seen so far, besides like Minotaurs. The problem, the key critical problem with this buff, is that outside of some of the cruisers, most of these ships don't have the AA range. Ohio actually does. That's like the exception to the rule for the battleships though. Outside of the cruisers, these really don't have AA range, so the damage is good, but it's not Louisiana good. So we're on the right track. I think all these buffs are amazing. Also, slight tangent. I just want to state my case. I can't make this up. The only American destroyer that actually got the AA buff was the Black. I cannot make that up. They have 4 Fletcher class destroyers to choose from. They chose one of the Fletcher class destroyers that doesn't have DFAA and is not known to have good AA. Historically speaking, well, it kind of, but like not really historically speaking. Nice wargaming. You could have buffed the Kid, you could have buffed the Fletcher. You chose to buff the Black. Nice. Gearing should have been there. Fletcher for sure should have been there. Kid 120% should have been here. Why they haven't gone buffs yet to the AA is beyond me. But besides that, I think we're on the step to a right. We're on a good step in the right direction, but we're not there yet. Hopefully 7.2, 7.3, right? This is 7.2, right? I'm not going insane. I've already forgotten which update this is. Hopefully the future AA changes in the next update, or any CV changes, have more substantial impacts to the destroyers. The destroyers are kind of suffering right now, some of these American destroyers, because their AA is kind of a joke. So, nice AA changes, but they're not gonna really. Some of these won't even really notice the difference. Interface changes, UI changes coming eventually. We have no information on that right now, so. Play surveys, it's cool. Upcoming collabs. This is actually very exciting. I'm very interested in collabs. As you can see, we have the Euro 2024, UEFA Euro 2024 collab. Wargaming. Where's our collab with like any other football tournament around the world? You know, World Cup. You know, like Copa America. Like the Euros are cool. I watched the Euros. I'm just saying, like, there could have been a lot more potential. You know, legendary commander for San Martin line could have been Lionel Messi, but I digress. Overall, the update. I'm very satisfied with the update. Very happy with the way it played out. Do I think there is some stuff that they could have done better? Sure. For sure. But compared to 7.0, I think this is a lot better of an update. It's a lot better of a step in the right direction. I think 7.0 was kind of a bump. They didn't really know where to go yet with 7.0, and while they were building up to this, I think this is just another build up to something even bigger later with the CV rework potentially that they're probably doing. I don't know if they actually are, but 7.1 good update. Cannot wait to try stuff out tomorrow. Can't wait to see the new map actually. And yeah. That is 7.1 for you. Also, I want to say a quick thank you for 200 subscribers. Posted on the community page, but I have not said it in any video yet. This is not the 200 subscriber special. I just want to put that out there right now. This is not it. This is just a video I had to make now to get my thoughts out. Yeah. As for the 200 subscriber special, will probably be a Lucian meme video. Have all the recording, just needs to finish editing it. Unless something like hilarious comes out in that time, probably will be Lucian. I don't want to give a time frame yet because I don't know how long it's gonna be edit, so I'll see. But I do plan on making it. So yeah, that is it for me. I've been rambling for like 30 minutes. I will see you guys next time.